Take two. So we've discussed lawyers, managers, solicitors, labels, everybody connected, interconnected in the music industry. I just want to talk briefly about the organisations that surround these people that help enable them to make money. We have Phonographic Performance Limited. Now they work on behalf of all the record companies. They work on behalf of the record companies, not the artists. However, there's been an income stream since 1996, further to the Neighbouring Bill of Rights Act in 1996, which gave all performers performance income off anything they did. Say, for example, I played on Smooth Operator, I get performance income from it, performance royalties from 96. That's put PPL in a funny old situation in that it had to collect artists' income. Now, PAMRA Limited, Performing Arts Media Rights Association Limited, were formed in 96. Very quickly got scuppered. Were actually payrolled by PPL because I was on the board of PAMRA. I was an elected board member and I sat on the board very briefly and then resigned in disgust after learning that PPL were payrolling PAMRA, and PAMRA had basically screwed its administration up, and its administration costs were astronomical, and the impact of that in regards to income to artists was diminished, and I kind of left in disgust, which has kind of left PPL in a very good position of collecting artists' money from performance allocations in it, basically as a company that actually works and is set up to work for major record companies. So in some respects, again, the poor artists can't win. The poor artists get screwed via PPL in some respects. I mean, not literally, but just because of the relationship of PPL, a company that looks after record company revenue and interests, also collects artists' performance royalties, to me is very wrong. It should have been handled by a separate body like a company like PAMRA, but not so badly. There's other organisations around the world, Senna. They're quite an interesting organisation, but at the end of the day, and we've got Sound Exchange, John Simpson and Sound Exchange in New York, but they're connected to the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA, and they're still all kind of interconnected with the record companies at some point, which doesn't help the artist. In fact, it hinders the artist again for getting compensation. Now we've got companies like the MU. Now the MU, some of their directors, members, served on the board of PAMRA, which is quite obvious. They deal with artists, they deal with orchestral performance income, so why not? They should be there. Currently, the MU directors are serving on the board of PPL, which again is good. You would think it was good. You would think that is a very healthy situation, because of course the MU help musicians and they help performers. In my case, and speaking from experience, so I'm not getting into any libel situations here because this is the actual factual truth. The MU, I've found, have not helped me in any shape or form in regards to performance income. In fact, quite the opposite. In regards to my situation on Top of the Pops, I was registered as a member, as a musician, signed to the record company CBS in '84. Yet, whilst the MU did write to CBS at the time to change this registration, it continued right up until this present day, and currently I've got an action registered in court against the BBC, which I'm not going to discuss because of the legalities, But all I can say is that in regards to the MU didn't help me in regards to those royalties, and I didn't get paid. In regards to when I was a member of the MU in 2000, I did lobby the MU via my branch secretary in sunny Grimsby, and after speaking to Ian Fenton at the MU's solicitors, again there was no advice or help in regards to that claim being rectified in regards to residual royalties, and that is still outstanding, and it's the basis of a legal situation at the moment, and no doubt you might hear about it in the future. Paul Cooke wins lots of money from the BBC. So there we've got it in a nutshell. Basically, we've got the whole relationships between PPL, record companies, organisations like the MU. Basically, we didn't discuss the BBC, but the BBC have agreements with all concerned. Now, whilst the BBC, I don't think, act against artists as such, they don't create very healthy situations in regards to agreements between the BBC, the MU and record companies. I have found from experience. So that it is very difficult to track payments, to get payments from the BBC in regards to work you've done, and more should be done about that. Now, if anybody wants to, or has been in a similar situation, the Department for Culture and Media has an organisation, DCMS, has a committee that specifically looks at conduit music, performance conduit distribution. If those are the right terms, but essentially, if you write to the DCMS in regards to any grievances about the BBC, or whether you've had problems with performance allocation or royalties, the Department for Culture and Media will get, I would have thought, get that document to the investigating committee that is looking at reward conduits and how companies like PPL and all concerned filter money down to the artists, or in fact, where do they put the money, essentially, and why doesn't it go to artists? So essentially, we can see the whole kind of symbiotic relationship between all concerned, and at the end of the day, the poor little artist, and especially the musician, are very low down in regards to the feeding chain, the food chain. So that is essentially first copyright and relationships between all concerned in the music industry. Again, if anybody wants to contact me, my name's Paul Cooke. The email is dlelimited, LIMINTED @btinternet.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye.